Alrighty. Sweet. Well, very good, guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into things. And first off, say to everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you all had wonderful holidays, wonderful New Year celebrations. We are here in 2024. Of course, today the market has to decide to hit us with a pretty hard red candle, but you know what? That's how markets are. It is what it is. So we're going to take it in stride and keep pushing forward. So let's jump into some things. We only really had one question in the AMA questions, which I'll get to later, but some other things I wanted to go through before that. So we did post our final monthly report of 2023 a few days ago. So if you have not yet given it a read or had a chance to look through it, I do encourage you to do so. It does cover community rewards, the Engage Discord, Dyson's updates, the Treasury report, and more information as well. So you can find a link to that in the Sphere announcements. On that note, I didn't have time to pull it together, but with the community rewards, congratulations to everyone who was nominated and then also won the awards within that. Glad we were able to put together something fun like that. What's up, Center? I see you typing. One day someone will troll me and just keep typing. All right. Well, while you're getting to that, oh, here you go. Okay, reminder that the Q4 Treasury report is due between the 2nd and 4th week of this month. Thank you. That's actually a really good point. Rux has pointed out that now that we have a system in place for the Treasury report, each subsequent Treasury report should come within 2 to 4 weeks of the end of the quarter. So much more efficient with the release of those subsequent Treasury reports now that we have everything in place. Right. Yeah, the end of 2023 was magnificent, and now the start of the year we're taking things down, but that is okay. So, well, it'll definitely, I agree, be quite interesting to see that Q4 report relative to Q1 through 3. All right, so CryptoFat did have a chance to post a pretty in-depth discussion in the community notes about marketing, but I did want to take some time to verbally go through that as well and give some additional reflections on marketing because it's also a topic that comes up quite frequently in the chats and obviously is a pain point given the constant reds that we see in the markets. So, to bring up some points CryptoFat had discussed, marketing is a strategic analysis of how our branding, product, clients, and competitors intersect. And marketing is different from advertising, which is a communication to internal and external clients. And oftentimes, what we see is people, when they say marketing, what they mean is advertising. So, commonly we will see when marketing, typically what they mean is actually when advertising. So, Sphere was absolutely able to push into marketing and advertising early on with its launch, but shortly after the collapse of Luna UST, with the true onset of the bear market, the focus really shifted to preserving the Sphere treasury above all else. And that's something that we've absolutely communicated as a focus within Sphere is to preserve the treasury. And of course, as you take a look at the treasury reports, we have been able to do that fairly well, I would say. That all changed in the beginning of Q2 after we saw a rise in the price of Matic, which of course the Sphere Treasury is weighted heavily towards. That rise in the price of Matic actually allowed us to bring on the marketing agency Scribe as a marketing and advertising partner at that time. However, as they were onboarded, the market then slowed down significantly. So much of Q2 working with Scribe was set on getting them onboarded with our projects, our development process, our vision, and then we also began building out an advertising campaign of paid KOLs. These are key opinion leaders or influencers. So this, I think, like I mentioned, is what I mainly believe people mean when they say, where's the marketing? They mean, where is the paid influencers who are talking about Sphere? These are KOLs, key opinion leaders. So Scribe was able to provide their knowledge and experience in that space, and for that we are very grateful. In my head, it was always Scribe 3. Scrib 3? Oh, it never occurred to me that it was Scribe. Key opinion leader or known opinion leader, right. The KOLs. I think influencers is much easier. Social influencer. So yeah, Scribe was able to provide a lot of knowledge and experience in that space, the KOL space. But again, because of the market conditions during Q2, much of the costs attributed to Scribe were for their marketing knowledge and experience. In Q3, we did have the opportunity to kick off some paid KOL campaigns, right? True advertising. We also increased the usage of our social accounts. And during that time as well, we were working on the decision to launch Prion in phases versus as a fully without phases. Obviously, we went with the phases. But with the KOL campaigns, we were able to track click-through rates. And this is something that we've talked about before with advertising pre-bear market, is we always need to know what the return on investment is in terms of click-through rates and people actually joining Sphere from those paid advertisements. Now, in Q3 with those KOLs, unfortunately, that was also the time where Matic reached its yearly low of just barely over 50 cents. So as marketing and advertising is a daily battle of cash burnt versus returns, we were unfortunately met with a situation where we needed to end the relationship with Scribe on positive terms, but then also suspend all KOL campaign spending because we just were not getting the ROI, the return on that investment. This was not all for nothing. As I mentioned, we learned a significant amount during our time with Scribe, including how to work well with KOLs, how to navigate KOLs, how to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not bargain with, but yeah, I guess bargain with the prices of KOLs. There's a word, someone help me out. But regardless, that knowledge is something we do plan to use again when the return on investment is actually worth the cash spent for KOLs, for these influencers. We were, again, very glad to partner with Scribe in the time that we worked with them. We did learn a lot by working with them. However, in the end, the results that we achieved working with them, especially from the advertising standpoint, versus the cash negotiate. Thank you, Rux. Yes, to negotiate with KOLs. We learned how to better do that. So it was not all for nothing, essentially. We did learn a lot from our time with Scribe and how to negotiate with KOLs and navigate that space. So in the end, although the cash they required, the Scribe required, did not end up being in alignment with our need to preserve the health of the treasury, we were able to learn a lot, and we will be able to apply that knowledge in the future. So again, it really comes down when we have conversations about marketing and advertising, it really comes down to how are we going to preserve the treasury, especially in a time where liquidity is so difficult to come by. Now, yes, it is true that things are starting to turn around, but as we see today, there are going to be ups, there are going to be downs in this market, and we need to be as prepared as we possibly can be for any type of situation. I see another question popping up in AMA questions, so I will be sure to get to that, never fear. Let me just check if it's... Okay. So yeah, I'll get to that. A scam. Okay. Oh, good. All right. Well, good thing our bots are keen on that. Okay. So what I wanted to... Thank you, T1. What I wanted to touch on as well during this AMA is what does Sphere have in store for 2024 and beyond? And we have, of course, touched upon this, but I think it's helpful to reiterate it and AMA stage. Okay. Not sure what you mean, O Sinner. All right, but yes, I did want to go through again what Sphere has in store for 2024 and beyond, because again, it is helpful, I think, to help keep that broader perspective in mind as we're approaching 2024 and beyond. All right, let's see, AMA stage. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't feel as though I need to respond to that. If you have something constructive to say, then I'll be happy to reply. All right. So within 2024 and beyond, in the coming weeks and months, we will be sharing more details about the ecosystem and giving more insights into what has been and is being worked on, as we've mentioned. Some upcoming developments include Prion V2 with new mechanics, as we've mentioned, designed to drive additional liquidity to Star. These updates will, of course, integrate with other projects, both current and upcoming, including Dyson, Sphere, Sphere Lend, as well as others yet to be announced. We are also focused on expanding our collateral types available within Prion to give users more options and greater freedom to leverage assets in ways that would best suit their needs and strategies. For Dyson, we will be rolling out new vaults as well, each tailored to meet some of the diverse needs of the crypto landscape. Some of these vaults will be integrated into Prion as collateral types or used by Sphere Lend. And additionally, we will be updating some of our existing vaults to ensure efficiency, all in the interest of maximizing returns while also simultaneously safeguarding investments. And on this note, in the past few days, we have received several reports from people stating that the APR and APY were showing 0% or nothing at all in some Dyson pools. This issue was reported to the dev team, who were able to then identify and resolve the issue. Basically, they found and then fixed a corrupted set of data files, which were causing the APR, APY part of the code to fail. So they were able to add an additional error handling system that should now prevent this from occurring in the future. Now, it's important to note that even though some of these pools were showing 0% APR, APY, they still continued to generate rewards. This was only a purely visual bug, so no investments were actually affected by the issue. It was only impacting the front end of Dyson and has been resolved. in case you were wondering. All right, so we have Prion. We know we're expanding Prion, the updates to Prion, continued expansion of Prion Vaults, Dyson expansion. We have Sphere Lend, which will be our 0% interest lending protocol that's in development and nearing completion. Sphere Lend will yield farm deposited collateral, which opens up avenues for lenders to earn higher yields on deposited assets. And of course, we know Prion, Dyson, and Sphere Lend will be able to integrate and amplify yield throughout the whole ecosystem. Sphere v3 cannot be disregarded as well. This is also still on the horizon and continues to be a means of integrating the entire ecosystem and driving revenue back to Sphere holders. Of course, as you know, as we always say, that is not all. We have been developing unannounced projects as well, have made some significant progress on that development, and really our goal has remained the same, which is to create an interwoven ecosystem of projects that amplify the yield of one another and ultimately funnel yield and governance back to Sphere. So we have been able to take advantage of the bull market, of the bear market, despite its many challenges, and we do feel well prepared for the coming bull market. So as always, we continue to be committed to building where there is value, and also with a long-term approach. All right. So let me take a look at some of these questions here. Okay. All right, so Yamama Fat in stage chat. Yes, that was my comment questions. Can we get more hindsights on what's being worked on without necessarily giving us delivery dates, but at least let us know? What I can say is we do want to prioritize some new collateral options for Prion, as well as expand the utility of Star. Now let me see. Correct. Prion is the focus, though there has been times where we've needed to shift focus temporarily to Dyson to fix different things like we've mentioned, especially after the release of the large Dyson updates. Naturally, things will come up after that, so we've had to go back into that, but yes, primary focus continues to be on Prion at the moment. Now let me see, is there anything? Okay. I'm just trying to read and respond to BAM here in AMA stage, but yeah, it's better if you bring the conversation to AMA chat. I'm kind of confused why you think things are centered on blowing the funds on marketing and advertising. The whole point of that discussion was to say that we aren't doing that because we're trying to preserve the treasury. All right. Can we expect Sphere Lend in Q1? When indeed? All right, and then in terms of questions from folks, One that I had seen was by Crypto Kel in the AMA questions, which was, "Hi, I don't see my tokens in my wallet." So I did want to address this because we have seen this question or concern come up from time to time. And the most common reason is that users have not added the updated Sphere contract to their wallet. So this updated contract can be found on hashtag Sphere contracts in the Discord. But if this is unsuccessful or you still have questions, concerns, or issues, please do not hesitate to submit a ticket through the Discord, and our team will be more than happy to assist you and dig more into what the issue might be and how to resolve it. T1, any updates to BPT being added as an option for collateral on Prion? Call it being postponed with balancer exploit. Correct. So I don't have any updates with respect to that, but what I can say again is that expanding Prion's collateral options is currently the focus. All right. Very good. So, any other questions from the audience, you guys? Any New Year's resolutions, folks? I see T1 typing, so just give it a pause, but I think we are, and I see Pandu. Anything else here? Not immediately. Okay. In regards to Dyson, what about the bugs that arise from the recent upgrade? Are there any updates in regards to whether it's being worked on? I think one of them was filter options not working. Yes, we do have a list of the different bugs that have arisen since that upgrade. It's one of those things where I'm not a developer, so I can't speak from experience, but I can speak from speaking to developers that when you fix one thing, multiple other things tend to break down. So we do have a list of things that we need to update with respect to that. That list of things is secondary to Prion, but when things break down significantly, for example, the APR, APY not showing, then it is picked up and focused on so that those essential things can be fixed before we refocus back on Prion. So we do have a list of those different bugs, and if you are noticing any other bugs, we do appreciate if you bring them to our attention. Finally, these holidays are done was getting bored. That's another thing to recognize too, right? Is we're all human. We all take breaks during the holidays. So just naturally, there is things take a bit longer to get through during the holidays. All but Sim, who is an AI, indeed. I know PT enjoyed his New Year's Eve. He was playing Minecraft. Indeed, I had a specific reason for that. Did you manage to kill the Ender Dragon? I did, but for not for the reasons you would think. Bugs is a bit too general. Sometimes when something breaks, it may break overall for the entire library or just one DApp. The headache is when fixing them without breaking something at the same time. Correct. Okay. Oops. Let me take a look. All right, just reading through some of the AMA stage chats. Marco, appreciate your insight and feedback there, especially around communication and narrative. And Yo Mama Fat, team has been very cautious on how the treasury is spent. Absolutely. Reluctant to advertise too early. Right. All right, thanks for bringing those to my attention. And thanks for responding and providing feedback to that. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I think we will end it there for the start of 2024. Here is your reminder to check in on your governance tokens if you need to put in some last minute voting, or if you need to withdraw or relock any sphere. Be sure to go ahead and do that. It is hard to believe it's 2024. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening, for tuning in on YouTube as well. I'll look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks with the next AMA. And until next time, as always remember that you matter for who you are. I slept at 3 a.m. and woke up at 7 for school. No clue how I survived on 4 hours of sleep. Ouch! Hopefully you can get some better sleep today. You're welcome. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. See you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.